Have you ever wondered what the world would be like today if vaccines didn't exist? There would be so many deadly diseases going around, and millions of people would be dying because their immune systems wouldn't know how to fight them off. This is why everyone should be getting vaccinated. They prevent us from catching the harmful diseases that were going around in the past. The three main reasons everyone should be getting vaccinated is that it can prevent us from catching deadly diseases, protects the future generation, and keeps pregnant women and their babies safe from complications during pregnancy. So let's start by talking about how vaccines prevent us from catching harmful diseases. Vaccines make your immune system recognize a disease and how to fight it. So when vaccines are injected, they act like a certain disease. And since they act like that, it triggers the immune system to start fighting it. So if you don't receive vaccinations, your immune system might not know how to fight certain diseases, and if you catch one, it could kill you. So getting vaccinations can also protect others. And for example, people who aren't vaccinated are very harmful to young children and babies, especially babies, because when they're born, they can't receive very many vaccines because their immune systems are too weak. So they're more likely to get diseases like whooping cough or measles. And studies have shown that 10 to 20 babies have died from those because they caught it from someone who also had it because they weren't vaccinated. But here's a graph of how measles has gone down since vaccinations were created. So that's when this is from the early 1900s, and then this is today, so it's gone down tremendously. And there are also people who can't receive vaccines because their immune systems are too weak from conditions like leukemia or they have severe allergies. So if you don't get your vaccinations, they will be at risk of catching a harmful disease from you. So if you are able to receive vaccines, you should get them so that the people who can't receive vaccines and young children stay healthy and don't have to worry about catching a deadly disease. Not only do vaccinations protect people from deadly diseases, it also protects the future generation. So if everyone today kept up with their vaccinations and were getting vaccinated, there is a possibility that some diseases could disappear. And if some did disappear, children wouldn't have to get vaccinated in the future. For example, many people have been receiving vaccinations for rubella, which is German measles, and they've been keeping up with them. And since they have been doing that, the chances of a pregnant woman passing this virus until their newborn or their fetus has gone down. And the birth defects that this virus causes are not happening in the US anymore because of this too. So this shows how vaccinations keep pregnant women and their babies safe from complications, and that is another reason why everyone should be getting vaccinated. Women who are pregnant and aren't up to date on their vaccinations have a very high risk of complications, and since they're not up to date, there's a chance that they could catch a terrible disease, and it could be dangerous to her and the baby. And during a pregnancy, the mother is the one who protects the baby from diseases, so if she catches it, the baby will catch it as well. And like in the last example, if a mother does ever catch rubella when she's pregnant, the baby could be born with CRS, which stands for congenital rubella syndrome, and this can cause deafness, heart defects, and even developmental delays. So if you are ever planning on having children in the future, make sure that you are up to date on your vaccinations or are vaccinated so that you and your child stay healthy. So even though people know that getting vaccinations can keep themselves and others safe, some don't choose to vaccinate because they believe that it causes certain conditions like autism. Well, autism is a condition that can't be caused by anything. It's just a condition that someone is born with. And studies have been performed on this, and in each one, they found nothing that links vaccinations to autism. The only reason that people believe vaccines can cause autism is because when children start receiving vaccines, they say symptoms start to show up. And the reasons that the symptoms are starting to show up is because the child is older when they start receiving more vaccinations. And since they're older, the symptoms of autism are more noticeable. Now that you know how vaccines can protect you and others and that they are not linked to conditions like autism, I hope this encourages you to keep up with your vaccines, or if you are not vaccinated, start getting them. In conclusion, everyone should get their vaccinations. They prevent you from catching a deadly disease, protects the future generation, and keeps pregnant women and their babies safe from complications during pregnancy. If you don't get vaccinated, you could be putting people who can't receive vaccinations and young children in danger. Vaccines are also very safe and do not cause certain conditions like autism. I hope this encourages you to keep getting vaccinations, start getting vaccinated if you haven't yet, and to vaccinate your future children.